Here today with Coach Todd Moebes of the Lockhart Lions. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing good, Tony.
Good. So we're in the spring, means you're getting to see your kids compete in all kinds of sports. You're seeing them in the weight room, you're seeing them in the athletic period. So how's the spring going?
It's been going well. Very pleased with how off seasons has been going. You can certainly see kids growing, getting bigger, faster, and stronger, and more explosive. We just finished our practice 11 of spring football this morning, so seeing the younger guys really grow, kind of seeing the light bulb come on is always fun, and on the other side of it, being able to see our veterans come back and really playing at a different speed and level of confidence, and having the game really kind of slow down for them is fun to see also.
All right. Now, here in a couple of weeks, you're going to be graduating some kids. So they're not going to be able to come back next year. So kind of walk us through your football team for the fall. Who's back, who's not back, who might take on those roles or new roles on the team.
Yeah, we're really excited about the ones that we have coming back. I mean, certainly it starts off with I think probably one of the most under recruited guys in the state of Texas, and Ashton Dickens, our quarterback. He threw for over 1,000 yards last year, rushed for over 2,000 yards. He's a tremendous competitor and leader. He's got the measurables to do a lot of different things at the Division I level. Not only play quarterback, but could do some other things too. So that's just, again, my personal opinion. I think he's an absolute stud. I mean, every coach that we've played and talked to, they just ask me, how many offers does he have? And I'm like, well, he doesn't have any right now. And they're like, why? I'm like, I have no idea. I can't answer that myself. So hopefully some of those things will start working for him. But Ashton is obviously a huge part of our football team coming back. We've got three offensive linemen that are returning, that are playing really well right now. Brady Stevenson, another guy that I think has been under recruited as well. Alex Richardson, the same thing, and Ricardo Diaz. All three of those guys, played 12 games for us, and they're playing at a really high speed right now. Gage Deutsch is a returning receiver for us. He was a sophomore last year. Is going to be a junior. He's certainly gotten a little bit more comfortable, in the position. And then, defensively, we're really returning our front five. We've got our entire D line coming back. Zakai Gathings, who was the returning defensive player of the year in our district, and then Edward Mendoza. Both of those guys are playing inside linebacker. We got three guys in the secondary that are coming back: Quavon Reese, Bart Key, and Trey Brown. So, Tyler Staten is a defensive lineman that's returning. Trent Holcomb, defensive lineman that's returning. Michael Foster. So we're putting some pieces of the puzzle together by moving some positions for some guys to make sure that we get the best 11 on the field, and try to fill some of the holes that were avoided by the great senior class that we just got through having.
Now, you went 8-4 last year, which is the best record there in 7 years. Came in, had one season. I'm sorry,
50 years.
50 years?
50, yeah.
Okay.
A little different.
A little different.
Yeah.
You came in, had a decent first year, and then the pandemic hits and things get weird. Kind of talk about the difference of just in the impact in the community when the high school sports teams are successful.
I think it's a huge impact. I think it's what makes Texas special. I mean, especially there are. Lockhart is a unique community, and there's some of those around. I mean, there are some big school districts that got 10, 8, 12 schools, and it's just a sense of community is can be lost. but here it's certainly special. I mean, it's we're the school in Caldwell County. I mean, our school district boundaries are 300 square miles. Anything around here goes right through Lockhart High School, and so the a lot of our parents, played here also, and so there's certainly a deep attachment to the school and everything else. So, I think it's had a tremendous impact. You go to grocery store, HEB or something like that, and you get noticed as, "Hey, coach, how you doing?" when you're walking down the aisle, and you may or may not know whoever it was that greeted you, but it's always a unique and cool feeling. So certainly proud of our staff and teams, and to be a part of trying to continue to head that in a positive direction.
Now let's look a bit forward to the fall. Kind of walk us through your district and what you expect to see from your competition.
I mean, I think we probably have one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas, in my opinion, and I think it's only going to be better. Can start with the most northern school in Liberty Hill. I mean, they're absolutely tremendous in what they do and the product that they put on the field each year. I mean, they're to me the model and definition of what it means to reload your football program. So. And then we have Bastrop High School and Cedar Creek High School. For both of those teams, this will be their year 2 for both head coaches, and they're going to be very talented and very tough. Then we have Veterans Memorial out of Judson ISD. I think they have one of the top recruited running backs in the country. He's committed to Ohio State, and they've got a lot of other pieces of the puzzle that go along with that. Piper High School out of Comal ISD. This will be their first senior class that they had. They're a new school, so we played them last year. They were just all juniors, and you could look out on the field, and they didn't look like juniors. So I know they're going to be even better fed and worked out and trained. They're going to be really, really good this year. And then Kerrville Tivy has always been an opponent to be respected around the state of Texas. And, Coach Jones does a great job with those guys. And, you got to bring your A game every single week. And, it's like I said, as far as 5A Division II football in the state of Texas, I think from top to bottom, our district is one of the toughest districts in the state.
Now, you've been around high school athletics for a few years. So just based on your perspective and the stops you've been and where you are now, what would you say the biggest challenge facing Texas high school athletics right now is?
Oh, I think, we're going through it right now with just, in the legislative session. Just, I think we've all become very accustomed to the way things are or have been, because they never changed for so long. From, I don't know, 1950 to, nearly 2000. I mean, there wasn't any type of change. I mean, rules were the same, and then as of late, with potential NIL deals and people coming up with 1-year transfer rules and all the other things that we're having to fight at the state level is tough, and I think Joe Martin and Glenn West and Brian Polk, with the Texas High School Coaches Association are doing a tremendous job and leading the charge for us to know things that could affect us, because if we sit on our hands and we're not paying attention to the small conversations that are happening in the back of the room, the next thing you know, something gets voted and now we got to abide by it when we didn't have any say in it whatsoever. So them keeping us informed, and I think our coaches are becoming more aware of getting their communities involved, not only in their own high school, sports and everything else, but just to protect the integrity of, UIL competition in the state of Texas, as everybody's known. So, I mean, we're on the front lines battling it right now. And I don't think, it's going to go anywhere regardless which way this legislative session, ends, and hopefully it ends in our favors, and there are no vouchers, and we continue to have it, like we have it now. We're all accustomed to having it. But obviously I think we still have a fight in front of us.
All right, so let's go from real big picture to real small picture. Try and learn a little bit about Todd Moebes.
Okay.
What would you say your number one guilty pleasure is?
Oh, golly, maybe a bowl of cereal before I go to bed or something. That's I probably shouldn't. Yeah, I need to stay away from the sweets before I'm going to go get horizontal. So,
all right. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Coach. Best of luck as you wrap up the school year and move into the 23 season.
Thanks, brother. Take care, and come out to Lockhart and come get you a game.
LoneStarGridiron.com. Access the complete history of Texas high school football, over 100 years of information, win-loss records, coaching histories, individual stats, records, and more. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football.